if you're going to sit there and if you're going to say it to people and accuse the board here and say these these things about us as a board, and frankly, the last board meeting, I had enough. I have killed myself serving on this board. I have done it at my own personal expense. I have spent hundreds of hours. And you said last time, I'll finish up. You had said, my final sentence, Michael, for those reasons, and we can keep going on, but I don't. But unfortunately, with a heavy heart, I am going to vote to remove you from the board.
On this board, and we did have an issue before, over 2 years ago, where this part of this board removed you as secretary from the board for various uncivil situations. And so I did sign this petition. States are to have a civil society and treat each other with respect. And you, of all people, I know how much you know about Robert's rules and all. You gave out misinformation at the last
I gave out misinformation, but she doesn't say what that misinformation is.
Everything
Everything is vague in general.
Michael, this is not a back and forth. Barbara, don't respond. Michael, don't address it directly.
Well, it's not a reasonable detail as required by the bylaws.
You will have your time.
That this item's on the agenda tonight. But as I was one of the 3 persons asked to sign the petition, I want to read the following statement. Michael McCue has served on the Government Affairs Committee with me for several years. During those meetings, he has always deported himself in a professional manner, and his comments were insightful and delivered respectfully. I have enjoyed working with him and greatly appreciate the contributions that he has made to the successful operation of the Government Affairs Committee. Unfortunately, at the last board meeting, Michael did 3 things which I believe could be considered violations of our code of conduct. 1, he was very critical of the president of the SCNC, who was not present at the meeting and therefore had no opportunity to respond to the comments being made. 2, he stated that the SCNC email list had been used inappropriately and circulated an email originally issued by the vice president of the SCNC in error, and he did not disseminate the retraction that had been sent out almost immediately after the error was made. 3, he stated that the special meeting had not been properly called and that should not be taking place. Many of his erroneous statements later appeared almost verbatim in the grievance received by the SCNC from a stakeholder. Subsequent to the board meeting, he has sent out emails that were inflammatory in tone and contained what I consider to be veiled threats. For these reasons, I have signed the petition presented to me that enabled this item to be placed on the agenda tonight in accordance with our bylaws and operating procedures.
1, 2, 3 points that Todd made that are a misrepresentation of my record. Barbara says that I'm misinformed about special meetings, but she doesn't say what that misinformation is, which brings out a problem because the bylaws, our bylaws state that this petition is only actionable if it has reasonable detail. And for anyone who has seen this petition, there is not one specific detail or one specific instance of misconduct. As we were speaking here this evening, Ron right next to me just now said to me, "Shut the fuck up." Pardon my language, but that's what he just said to me. Are you going to deny that, Ron?
I was trying to explain it. You're not
It's not a back and forth. It's not a back and forth.
So I've asked everyone, who is being misrepresenting? Who is being disrespectful to board members? When Rita says that I was critical of the president, being critical is not an actionable item. Being critical, we're being critical of each other all the time. That's the democratic process. And the email that I shared with everybody, Rita says that I didn't share the retraction email. One of the reasons that I didn't have a copy of the retraction email with me, but also the retraction email doesn't address the infraction that actually took place.
Time.
One more point of order, please, Mr. President, because I know that the city attorney advised you today that I should be given an equal amount of time to the time that all of these 3 people spoke.
Yes,
I haven't finished my statement, so I've got 4 more minutes to go.
Point of order is not well taken, because what the city attorney told me is that you should get the same amount of time than an individual person, not the accumulation of the petitioners.
I have it in writing.
Well, so do I. So point is not well taken.